شوفوها شوفوها هذه السعودية،
شوفوها شوفوها هذه السعودية.
شوفوا الوطن شوفوا، شوفوا الوطن شوفوا، قولوا يا ما شاء الله.
شوفوا السعودية مرافق الحية ونظى حضارية. شوفوا
شوفوا حضارتها،
شوفوا شوفوا،
شوفوا تقدمها،
شوفوا شوفوا،
شوفوا حضارتها،
شوفوا شوفوا،
شوفوا تقدمها.
شوفوا شوفوا،
شوفوها شوفوها هذه السعودية، شوفوها شوفوها هذه السعودية.
أطهر بقاع الأرض تحكم بشرع الله.
أطهر بقاع الأرض تحكم بشرع الله. شوفوا شوفوا،
والنصح والإرشاد والأمن فيها ساد والخير فيها زاد. حيوا
حيوا قيادتنا،
حيوا
والكعبة قبلتنا.
حيوا
حيوا قيادتنا، والكعبة قبلتنا. شوفوها شوفوها هذه السعودية،
شوفوها شوفوها هذه السعودية.
شوفوا الوطن شوفوا، شوفوا الوطن شوفوا.
So basically, schools in Saudi Arabia have implemented this new project all over the kingdom. For the past 5 years, it's something new that they started. They call it, I'll say the Arabic word and then I'll just translate it, rough translation into English. It's called Fina, which basically means the goodness in us or the virtue in us. And madrasati masuliti. So madrasati masuliyya, you probably heard the word madrasa in the news. It just means school. Masuliyya is responsibility. So my school is my responsibility. This project, honestly, just stresses the importance and the responsibility of cleanliness and organization in classrooms, especially at the end of the day before students leave. The goal of this program is getting the students used to taking care of their environment and their surroundings and the etiquette of that. What I understood from it is that it honestly shows children that school is something that should not be taken for granted. And you don't just have someone cleaning after you all the time. You should honestly take care of that place, because that's a place that so much can happen in the classroom. That's where you realize what you want to do for the rest of your life. That's where most kids feel safe. So it's telling them the importance of that, and that's why they have to take care of it. Let me see what I said. So schools in Saudi Arabia are now it's almost a requirement to follow this program to kind of implement, but the way they present this knowledge to the students and the way they implement it in their classrooms is completely up to them, just as long as they're doing something to help with the organization and the cleanliness of the classroom and the environment. Each school is also responsible to do something that benefits others who are not in that school, so community service, doing drives, feeding the hungry or the less fortunate, stuff like that. The Saudi Arabia School Administration, it asks that everyone implement this new idea because it helps them serve the country's education. So it's to educate the students, to make them more compassionate towards others, and compassionate on themselves in terms of just to take care of each other. Because when you're taking care of your surroundings, just not to take things for granted, to just throw things around. So aside from this being a beneficial program to the community and its education, it also has other perks too. So there are rewards offered for schools that come up with the best innovative ideas, the best ways to help other people or even help their schools, or even events that they come up with that can also benefit them. The rewards can reach $26,000 per school. And that's a lot of money for education, because I'm an education major and I work in a preschool, so I know that $26,000 going to the school is a lot.
Yeah.
Because all the classroom supplies, everything needed, and that's like that everywhere. So now I'm going to narrow the talk down to just one school named Al-Husayra Elementary School in Unayza. That's in Saudi Arabia, and that's where Aima's mom is the principal there. Her name is Asma al-Dil'an. Did I say that right? Okay. That's her mother, and she participated in these programs, and she led her school with new ideas and participation in these programs with the projects involved. So there's YouTube videos on the internet that we will show a couple of them to you now that are posted to just show people examples of the things that the students, that the kids notice. So you're going to notice them preparing the stuff, so separating supplies and kind of getting the room ready to be organized. Then the actual organization process where they tidy everything up, the pencils go in one place, folders and books go in another place. It's really just taking this, it's just breaking down the steps of the cleanliness. Then you're going to watch them clean it. So they clean anything small that they see. If they notice a problem, it's stressed that the student should use critical thinking to try to solve that problem. So if something happened that day or something went on in the classroom, it stresses like personal thought too. So even though you're given this broad thing where, okay, we should keep our classroom neat, we should keep our environment good, each student is able to use their own thoughts and ideas to figure out how they're going to do that. Then maintain. So not just after you're done cleaning that day, that's it. You just always remember that that's what you need to do. So don't just leave the classroom and throw your water bottles everywhere. Don't just leave the classroom and kind of just throw your stuff around. You always have to have that idea in your head, the consistency. And as we know as teachers, I think that being consistent is always what helps the students. So let me open up, okay, the first video. And this is going to be the steps to the organization. The name of the noise is doing everything I just said, but in Arabic. It says tamdeed, that means cleaning of the classroom. Haddad, that's the preparing. That's the part where they're preparing, and you can see the girls in this, just organizing, putting all the markers together. So even the simplest parts of organization, they don't just put all pens together. They put the markers specifically, the scissors and sharpeners separately, and just teaching them the highest level of organization. Should I move it faster? Okay, next, this is the actual organization. So they're putting everything in places where it belongs. And you can see the classroom looks real good. Okay, this is the actual cleaning part. This is the part that I was talking about where they're each given kind of like a wipe or something to wipe down their own area. So taking care of their own desk. And if you notice the organization, they start from a specific part on the table and work their way up and down to make sure that each one is getting every spot. So it's a huge little, and you know how hard that is in a classroom.
Can I ask something?
Yes.
Are classrooms co-ed?
Rima, do they have boys and girls in classrooms, or just girls and just boys? Separate? Okay, yeah. They're only separate there. So I think this is just an all-girls classroom. I didn't know about the elementary. I know as they get older, obviously they separate, but. And then they're wiping off the board, and it's a small aspect of like details. And this is maintaining, so all throughout the day, the classroom stays pretty neat. Asma Al-Zil'an has led her school to helping outside of the community, not just in the school. So they help the people around them. So Al-Hufayda Elementary assists the communities and they present the workers who work around the building, outside of it, the less fortunate. They work really hard, they don't get much though. They serve them with breakfast every single day. So every day they give the people around them breakfast. And I think that there's something to be said about setting those examples for the student in the school, because I'm someone who believes that people who are less fortunate don't just exist so you can feel better about your status. They exist to make you a better person so you can help them. So that was something that's really impressive to me. And you'll see that in the video. And as well as that, they also present the less fortunate with clothing every winter to help keep them warm. This clothing, usually here in America, this is where I grew up, I'm used to doing drives and any coats or stuff in good condition we give them. There, they're giving them new things. So that was something that stood out a lot to me. And you'll see that in both of these videos. obviously construction workers, the people around them who work around the street. They're giving them the breakfast every morning. And you see they have the logo on the water bottle, just to kind of put their information out and let people know what they're doing.
That's really nice. Teaches students really early in life that they need to be community oriented.
I agree. And the students are involved. It's not just the adults, and I think that's the best thing. Because I think from a younger age, if you teach them how fulfilling it is to help others, they're always going to keep that with them and continue to do it throughout their lives. The clothing and the articles of clothing to keep them warm. So jackets, gloves, any of that. And you see the new package month, new products that they're giving them. And as you can see, the students are the ones organizing, and they're setting up. They set them up in gift bags, so it's not. You never want to make someone feel like a little bit less fortunate when you're doing. You want them to that you're doing it to give it as a gift to them, not as, oh, you're beneath me. So they really stress that, making the students, and there are the logos on the bags as well. I think it makes the children feel proud about themselves too. It's not just something that they do in their courses. It makes them really proud of themselves to be part of something so great. And the best part is when you actually give it to the people. This presentation and others is the schools go around. Each school is proud of what they're doing. They're proud of their students, proud of how they're helping the community. That's why they spread the word. So they travel to other schools, they travel to hospitals in the area, factories, things like that. And they just want to let people know that there's some good going on in the world too. And because no one hears about, like you hear a certain stereotype about a place, certain stereotype about a certain education program, and that's all you take from it. But they want to let people know the good that they're doing too. And that's why we're informing you guys that today, because we want to take their message and just bring it out to you, because her mother's pretty proud of her students in her school and everything that they've done for the people around them. And like I said, there is something to be said about children who are getting used to fulfilling like that feeling and that goodness and helping others.
Fund these different things.
I think for a lot of it, for their school system, the government funds a lot of their stuff, so the teachers get paid directly through the government. Rima, I was asking her about the textbooks and the stuff, and she said they don't pay for those, the government.
So like the cooking, breakfast, and then the clothes, and then all the community stuff they do. Where does that?
Do you know the answer to that?
Do you mean